Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Monday's Wonder. Today we are going to be having a look at our new geography learning. So I'm going to get straight into it and I'm going to share my screen so we can see what we are going to be doing this week. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be rewinding some of our learning to look at our continents, okay, and to kind of look at the structure of the Earth. Then I'm going to introduce what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks in a moment. But first, I want you to be having a little think. How many continents are there on Earth and can you name them all? Okay, so pause the video now and see if you can remember how many continents there are and see if you can name them all. And then we're going to link this to this week's learning. So pause the video now and have a go. Wonderful. And hopefully you've had a go at naming them. It should be quite fresh in our minds. So we've just looked at our continent of Asia. Now, this picture that I'm showing you now is a slightly different picture to the way that we usually look at our continents. Okay, I'm going to explain to you why. So we've got Antarctica, we've got Australia, which we call the Australasian template. We have got continent. We have got Asia up here. We've got Europe, which is kind of attached to Asia. We have got Africa. We have got America, and we have got South America. So they are our 7 continents, but I've shown you this in a slightly different way, okay? Because what I've shown you here is I've shown you the tectonic plates that make up the Earth that form these continents, okay? So each continent is almost on its own tectonic plate apart from here, the Eurasian continent, the Eurasian tectonic plate, which has both Asia and Europe on it, okay? So you can see here how the Earth has kind of been divided into its different continents by these tectonic plates. We're going to look a little bit more about the structure of the Earth today so we can understand how this happens. So let's get into it. So what are we going to be doing today? We're going to be identifying the layers that make up the Earth. How? By retrieving old learning. And why? So we can create our own model of the Earth. And the reason why we're rewinding back to this learning is because in the next few weeks, we're going to be looking at the natural disasters and earthquakes. Okay, so we're going to be learning all about earthquakes, why they happen, and kind of some more information about the countries that they do happen in to kind of see what types of things they have to do to prepare for earthquakes. Okay, we might even have a little go at doing something practical to do with earthquakes. So in order to do that, first we need to know all about the different layers of the Earth and these tectonic plates so that we can access this learning about our earthquakes. So let's get straight into it. So what you're going to do now then, underneath my cover, I have got a picture to show you. Now this picture might be familiar from last year, the end of last year, you did this with your online learning, okay? So it should be familiar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the picture for 10 seconds. And you're going to see if you can take in as much information as you possibly can. Then I'm going to cover the picture back up. You're going to pause the video and you're going to see how much you can remember from our picture, okay, just to get our brains thinking about our layers of the Earth. So I'm going to show you it for 10 seconds. No cheating, no pausing the video on the picture, okay? You can only look at it for 10 seconds. Then I'm going to cover it up. Then you're going to pause the video. If you cheat, you're only cheating yourself and you won't remember as much, okay? So let's have a look. And that is your time up. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to get a piece of paper and a pencil. I want you to see how much you can remember from our picture, okay, and see if you can label it with the labels from the picture as well. Okay, so pause the video now and have a go to see if you can remember how much you can remember from our picture. Fabulous. Right, hopefully, I'm just going to show you it. Okay. Hopefully you drew something a little bit like this, and hopefully you drew the Earth. And how many layers can we see here that the Earth has? Well, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers inside the Earth. Now, some kind of resources on the internet will tell you there is 4, some will tell you that there is more, but we are going to learn these 5 layers. Okay, so we're going to see how many of these layers you could remember from our diagram. So the first one, this one around the outside, is called the crust. Okay, just like a pizza crust, okay, we can remember that the crust goes all the way around the outside, and the crust is formed of the tectonic plates that we talked about a minute ago. Okay, so that is what makes up the crust. So there are some kind of gaps in it, okay, where the tectonic plates meet together. Underneath the crust, we have the upper mantle, which is on top of the lower mantle. Okay, upper and lower, you can remember that pretty easily because the upper one is higher, it is on top. Okay, and the mantle is made up of kind of hard, rocky materials that are quite sturdy. Okay, so they are underneath the crust. Underneath the mantle, we have the outer core and the inner core. The outer core is kind of made up of like a lava-y type material, so it kind of flows a little bit, it moves a little bit, and this is how, which we'll get into more with our earthquake learning, the crust of the earth actually can end up moving a little bit. Okay, then we have the inner core, which is solid, made of that kind of solid, hard rock material. Okay, so they are our 5 layers of the earth. Well done if you could remember all of those from our picture. Perfect. What we're going to have a go at doing now then is we're going to have a go at a little bit of information retrieval, okay, to see how much information we can collect about our layers of the earth. So we're going to play a little video, which means I'm going to have to go off this screen. So it's up to you how you do this. You might want to take a picture of this so you can have it by the side of you. You might just want to write down the sentences with the gaps, or you might even be able to print this slide. Okay, it's up to you how you do this, but I want you to just pause the video now and make sure you have this information in front of you when I go off it in a moment. Okay, because I'm going to go off it and go onto a video, which is hopefully going to tell us all of this information. Okay, right. Hopefully we're ready and we've got all of our sentences ready to fill in those gaps. So I'm just going to do a new share and I'm going to share my sound. Hello, so this video got copyrighted because I played a YouTube video, so I've chopped it out and I've put the link for the video that you need to do the gap fill in the description of this video. So if you pause the video now, go into the description of this one, click the link, you can watch the video that you need to do the gap fill and then come back here to finish the lesson. Lesson learnt for next time, don't play a whole YouTube video within your YouTube video. See you soon. If we have been successful in answering our questions. So hopefully then you're going to be shouting the answers along with me at home. So the earth has how many layers? Well, we can see it has 5 layers. These are, and these go in order, the crust, the upper mantle, the mantle, the inner core, and the outer core. Okay, so they are the 5 layers that we need to learn that make up the earth. Now, in our video, it told us a little bit of a fact about how wide, how kind of deep the crust actually is. It's actually 25 miles in width. Okay, so if you think about how far a mile is, okay, and then you think about how deep that would be, think about how deep 25 miles would be. Okay, so that's pretty deep. The Earth's mantle is made up of very solid and sturdy rock materials, which means it doesn't really move that much. Okay, and the Earth's outer core is made up of a hot molten substance called lava. The inner core is as hot as the sun. Okay, so very, very hot indeed. Well done. If you collected that information, you could fill in all of those sentences. Fabulous. So, your task for today then, after you've done that and you've had a go at answering now that you've had a go at filling in those sentences, is to create a model of the Earth's layers. Now, it's completely up to you how you would like to do this. Okay, so here we have an example that Miss Bishton very kindly created for year 4 last year, okay, where you made, or you might have made, the layers of the Earth out of Play-Doh. Okay, so you can actually make your own Play-Doh. Okay, you can colour it in using paint or whatever you have at home. Okay, so you might want to be a bit creative and do it that way. This is a really cool kind of like spinning Earth where she's created the Earth and then she's showing the layers within it with different colours of paper or card. Again, if you don't have different colours of paper or card, you could just colour them. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to present and demonstrate the layers of the Earth. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. This is just a couple of ideas. Okay, but we're really excited to see you get creative with your model to demonstrate our layers of the Earth. Okay, we can't wait to see what you get up to, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.